Picture this. You're at the top of your game. 4 Grand Slam titles, millions of dollars, a beautiful daughter, and the love of your life cheering you on from the sidelines. Then, ... It's over. In January 2025, tennis superstar Naomi Osaka broke the internet with a simple Instagram story that left fans stunned. After 5 years together, she and rapper Cordae, the father of her child, were done. But here's what makes this story different. No screaming matches, no bitter custody battles, no messy social media drama, just ... silence. The kind of silence that speaks volumes. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most mysterious celebrity breakups of the year. Because sometimes the most devastating endings are the quiet ones. The ones where love isn't enough. Let's start from the beginning. Naomi Osaka didn't choose tennis. Tennis chose her. Born in Japan to a Haitian father and a Japanese mother, Naomi's life was always going to be complicated. Her family moved to New York when she was 3, then to Florida when she was 8. All for one reason: to chase a dream that seemed impossible. Her father, Leonard Francois, had no tennis background. But he had something more powerful: belief. He watched the Williams sisters dominate the sport and thought, why not my daughters? So he taught himself tennis from YouTube videos. Can you imagine? The man who would shape one of the greatest tennis players of all time learned the game from grainy internet clips. Naomi was shy, painfully shy. The kind of kid who would hide behind her mother's legs when strangers talked to her. But put a racket in her hands. She transformed. By 14, she was turning heads. By 16, she was going pro. But success came with a price. The pressure was suffocating. Everyone wanted a piece of the rising star. The media scrutinized every move, every emotion, every stumble. And then, in 2018, everything changed. The US Open final against Serena Williams. The match that was supposed to be her fairy tale moment became her nightmare. The crowd booed during her victory speech. She cried. Not tears of joy, tears of confusion and pain. I'm sorry it had to end like this, she whispered into the microphone. A champion apologizing for winning. That's when the world realized Naomi Osaka was different, vulnerable, human. But champions find ways to rise. 2019 brought redemption. Another Grand Slam. Then another. By 2020, Naomi wasn't just winning matches, she was changing the world. She wore face masks with the names of Black Americans killed by police. Each match, a new name, a new story, a new reminder that sports and social justice can't be separated. And watching from the stands, cheering louder than anyone else, was a young rapper named Cordae. They met in 2019 at a Clippers game. He was already making waves in hip-hop. She was conquering tennis courts worldwide, but their connection, that was instant. Cordae's real name, Cordae Dunstan, wasn't your typical athlete's boyfriend. He was thoughtful, articulate, a Grammy-nominated artist who spoke about mental health and social justice with the same passion Naomi brought to tennis. He didn't know tennis when they met, admitted it freely. I had to Google what love meant in tennis, he once joked in an interview. But he learned, not just the game, he learned her. When Naomi struggled with anxiety and depression, Cordae was there. When she made the brave decision to withdraw from the French Open in 2021, citing mental health concerns, he stood by her side. The world was divided. Some called her weak. Others called her courageous. Cordae called her his queen. Their relationship blossomed in the spotlight. But they tried to keep it real. No manufactured social media moments. Just genuine love between two young people navigating fame together. In 2022, whispers started circulating. Pregnancy rumors, engagement, speculation. Naomi stayed quiet. Always the private one. But in January 2023, she confirmed what everyone suspected. She was expecting. "I can't wait to get back on the court," she wrote, "but until then, I'll be cheering on everyone." The tennis world held its breath. Would she come back? Could she come back? July 7, 2023, a baby girl named Shy entered the world. Cordae posted a single photo, his hand holding the tiniest fingers you've ever seen. "My heart is full," he wrote. For a moment, everything seemed perfect. The power couple had it all: love, success, and now a beautiful daughter. But behind the Instagram posts and red carpet appearances, cracks were forming. The pressures of new parenthood to demanding careers pulling in different directions. The constant scrutiny of public life. Naomi was fighting to return to form on the tennis court. The comeback trail is never easy, but doing it as a new mother is almost impossible. She struggled, losses mounted, rankings dropped. Meanwhile, Cordae's career was soaring. Tours, albums, collaborations with the biggest names in music. Success can be isolating, especially when you're succeeding at different paces. Friends close to the couple began noticing changes by late 2023. Fewer joint appearances. Subtle social media edits. Naomi, who had always been private, became even more guarded about their relationship. But they held on. For Shy, for the love they'd built. For the image of the perfect family they'd created. 2024 brought new challenges. Naomi's return to competitive tennis was slower than expected. The game had moved on without her. Younger players were hungry, faster, less burdened by expectations. Every loss felt like a referendum on her choices. Should she have stayed longer? Come back sooner? Was she still the same player? The questions haunted her. At home, Cordae was supportive. Always supportive. But support can feel suffocating when you're drowning. They went to therapy, separately. And together, tried to work through the growing distance between them. But sometimes, love isn't enough. Sometimes, two people can be perfect for each other and still be wrong for each other at that moment in their lives. By December 2024, those close to them knew it was over. They were living separate lives in the same house, co-parenting more than partnering. The decision to split wasn't dramatic. No explosive fights. No cheating scandals. No bitter arguments over money or custody. It was worse than that. It was mature, adult, heartbreaking. January 6, 2025. Naomi posted a simple message on her Instagram story. "Hi everyone. Just wanted to say that Cordae and I are no longer in a relationship. It's no bad blood at all. He's a great person and an awesome dad. Honestly, really glad our paths crossed because my daughter is my biggest blessing. Thanks for the love you guys have shown us as a couple over the years." 17. Words that ended 5 years of love. No explanation. No blame. Just ... acceptance. Toward responded with equal grace. No public statements, no songs about heartbreak. Just continued support for his daughter and respect for his ex. But why? What really happened? Sources close to both say it came down to timing and priorities. Naomi was fighting to reclaim her tennis legacy while learning to be a mother. The pressure was consuming her. Cordae was at the peak of his musical career, touring constantly, creating at a pace he'd never matched before. Two people growing in different directions. Add the pressure of raising a child in the public eye, the strain of maintaining a relationship under constant scrutiny, and the simple fact that they were both still incredibly young when they got together. Naomi was 21 when they started dating. Cordae was 22. They grew up together. And sometimes, growing up means growing apart. But here's what makes their story beautiful. Even in its ending, they chose love over ego. They chose their daughter over drama. They chose respect over revenge. In a world of messy celebrity breakups, public feuds, and bitter custody battles, Naomi and Cordae showed us something different. They showed us that sometimes the most loving thing you can do is let someone go. Today, Naomi is focusing on her tennis comeback and raising Shy. She's been open about the challenges of single motherhood while pursuing athletic greatness. "I have multiple identities," she shared in her recent documentary. "I'm a tennis player. I'm a mother. I'm a woman. I'm Black. I'm Japanese. And I'm learning that I don't have to choose just one." Cordae continues, making music, touring, and being an involved father. He's been spotted at several of Naomi's recent matches, cheering from the stands, not as a boyfriend, but as a co-parent and friend. Their daughter, Shy, now 18 months old, splits time between both parents. She's learning to walk, to talk, to be curious about the world. She doesn't know her parents aren't together anymore. To her, she just has two homes full of love. Maybe that's enough. Maybe that's everything. The truth is, we may never know exactly. Why Naomi Osaka and Cordae broke up. They've kept their private struggles private. Their pain personal, but in a world obsessed with drama and dirty laundry. Perhaps their silence is the most powerful statement of all. Love doesn't always last forever, but respect can. Growth doesn't always happen together, but it can happen with grace. And sometimes the most beautiful endings are the quiet ones, the ones where nobody's the villain, where two good people simply choose different paths. Naomi Osaka is still writing her story, still fighting on tennis courts around the world, still learning to balance motherhood with ambition. Cordae is still creating, still growing as an artist and a father. And somewhere in between their two worlds, a little girl named Shy is growing up surrounded by love. Even if that love looks different than it once did, maybe that's the real lesson. Here, that love isn't always about staying together. Sometimes it's about knowing when to step apart. Sometimes the greatest act of love is giving someone the space to become who they're meant to be, even if that means becoming it without you. What do you think? Was this the right choice for both of them? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed diving deep into this story, make sure to subscribe to Luminoir for more untold celebrity stories that go beyond the headlines. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our latest uploads, because sometimes the most important stories are the ones that happen when the cameras stop rolling.